You want me to fly aggressor to make it interesting or no?
Sure. What are you ready to start it up?
Yeah, mate.
Okay. Bottom right by your knee, flip the battery on. Go ahead and arm the ejection seat, which is that thing next to it, kind of.
Armed.
I'm going to go ahead and lower the cockpit so I can hear what's needed to start.
What the hell was that? I just spawned in and my plane blew up. There must have been something already parked there.
Yeah, probably. Okay. On the left, turn the APU on. Let me know when you get that ready and the green light's on.
The switch is where?
On the left, next to the throttle, against the wall, kind of.
Got it.
Once that green light comes on, let me know.
Green.
Alright, go ahead and flip the engine crank, either side. And then once it gets to 15% by your left knee, you can go ahead and advance the throttle. Let it start.
Yep, left starting.
Just do one of them for now. Once that's on, flip all the displays to day and turn the brightness up on the middle one.
Light controlled. Light controlled.
There's for the HUD also, and the UFC. Turn them all on.
User entered your channel.
Okay, I've got 3 displays.
Okay, is your HUD on?
No.
Okay, right above the middle display, you'll see one that says BRT, a knob. Turn that all the way to the right.
Done. Yep, HUD.
And then on the UFC, with the number pad, the top right of that is another BR brightness. Turn that all the way up. After that, on the right side, where it says bit failures.
Yep.
Click the FCS MC button. And then, I don't know what your keybind is. There's a keybind for the button that you hold down. You hold that button down and then click FCS, and you'll start running the bit test.
It should be default Y key.
Yeah, that's what mine is. The actual button's like over there on the right side of the cockpit. It's impossible to click both of them.
Yep, got it. Yeah.
Once they all say go, you can go to the menu.
Yep.
And then click menu again, and then put it on HSI. That's where I usually put that while we're on the ground.
Yep.
Alright, on the right side, for your INS alignment, flip it to CV for carrier alignment. And then that way we can do other stuff while it's counting down.
Where's that?
On your right side, it's the very last set of gray dials, gray knobs. It'll say INS above it. The farthest back set of gray knobs.
Okay, so it goes to CV, yep.
Yep, for carrier. And then on your right up front display, you'll see it start counting down. So while that's doing that, on the left side, flip your flaps to half. It's right underneath your landing gear lever.
Yep.
On the left display, click menu, and then on the right bottom, click FCS.
Yep.
The things with X's in there, they have to reset the FCS after the bit test. The button for that is on your left side. The big button says reset. It's on the same area kind of as the engine. It's just right on the inside edge. Once that's reset, let me know.
Near the engine crank, sir.
You got your stuff reset? The FCS reset?
No, where's the reset button? Oh, got it, sorry.
Yep. All the X's should disappear from that menu.
Yep,
Okay.
they're gone.
On the very rear, on the left, you'll see something that says O-Bogs. Flip that to on. That's your oxygen.
Done.
I'm going to flip over and start the other engine.
Starting.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
How's it going?
What's up, E-Dog?
Okay.
Guys on the server?
Yeah. Once both engines are started, back on the right side, there's a bleed air knob. You want to flip it 360 degrees to the right. It's in the panel below the battery panel. The bottom right knob says bleed air. It starts on norm, flip it right ways to the right until it's back on norm.
Done.
Alright, so now I'm looking at my right front display, and the countdown says 0.5 and OK. That means it's done. The countdown into line.
I think I got my left and right screens mixed. Which one should be on the right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's just the HSI screen, whichever one you have it on. It should be done by now. It'll say OK. Qual 0.5 OK. And if it is, then you can go back to the INS dial and flip it to nav to set that into the computer.
I'm lost there. I've got what looks like a top-down display with an aircraft symbol in the middle.
Yeah, underneath that it should have some words and things. It says should say qual 0.5 OK.
Yep, got that.
Okay, that means it's done with the OK underneath of it. So on the right side,
Yep.
On the right side, on the back on the INS dial, flip it to nav, and that sets it into the computer.
Yep.
Okay, now we will turn on the ground radar. It's kind of by your right knee. There's a dial. So next to it says BUNO. Black dial. It's right above the hydraulic pressure gauge.
Got it. Yeah, so what are we doing with that? Taking it to zero.
On the bottom right, just spin that until it gets to, I usually put mine about 450. That's in feet, and that turns the ground radar on, and it's also what you set it to is the alarm. The alarm will go off once you drop at or below that height. I just leave mine on 450.
Yeah, procedure's actually 40 feet for sea operations. That way, if you hear it going off when you go off the deck, that's when you punch out.
Didn't know that. I always just set that to what it needs to be when I land. That way I don't have to worry about
So
it.
the one is 100 feet, is it?
40 feet.
Yeah, no, I mean the calibration on the dial, is it in hundreds of feet? Or tens
Yes,
of
that's
feet?
correct.
Okay, so I've got mine at 40 then.
Yep, set.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and double click the master caution button just to stack those. Get them so they don't take up all the screen on the left side.
Yep.
I'm going to turn my lights on for the consoles and everything. You don't have to unless you want to. Those are on the right, in the middle kind of. It says consoles and then instrument panel. I'll leave the floodlights off.
Done.
On the left side, in front of the throttle, you have your formation and position lights.
Done.
Do you want to bring any weapons? Or just fly around? I'll bring myself because, yeah, Thumper's going to be flying something bad over there, so.
Come hang out with you, Thumper, on that 29.
Alright, talk me through a loadout.
What's that?
I'm on the loadout screen. What do you want upon?
I'm bringing 2 AIM-9Xs, one on each wingtip.
Yeah, so E-Dog, I don't know about what's up with position 1 there, but I spawned into it and it instantly blew up. So and it looks like you're in the middle of the ground over there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I was getting ready to say, what the hell happened? So I'm getting ready to switch out of there.
Okay, so I've got 1 and 9 are AIM-9Xs. 3, 4, 6, and 7 are AIM-120Cs. And I've got a fuel tank on 5. And topping off on gas while we're here.
Request refueling. Request rearming.
Roach, you got harms?
Copy.
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay. He can fly a Wild Weasel for us.
Dude, even when I jumped in this plane, it was all freaking, like my HUD brightness was down, and I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
I noticed that.
Incomplete.
Let me know once you're armed over there.
Okay, good to go. I've just gone light with 4 missiles and no fuel.
Okay.
Should I put fuel on?
It's up to you. I'll be dropping mine once we run into trouble. Special preference though. This thing doesn't have the longest legs.
I'll put fuel on.
And then on the bottom in front of the stick, you'll turn on your RWR. and flip your dispenser to bypass for your expendables.
Sorry, repeat that one for me.
In front of the stick, on the bottom, on the right side is the on button for your RWR, just underneath the center screen.
What's the RWR?
The radar warning receiver. It shows you what radars are hitting you. But the button for it, you'll see INT, offset, special, display, and on. It's a row of buttons below the middle screen in front of your stick.
They're kind of tough to see in VR. It's between the screen and the ECM switch.
Yeah.
Ah, yep, got him.
Okay, and then below the ECM is your dispensers. Flip that to bypass. That's for your chaff and flares.
So the RWR, what should that be on?
Okay, underneath your right panel, just below it, you'll see a circle. That's your RWR. It'll show radars that it picks up, friendly or enemy, in relation to your aircraft. It doesn't give you distance, but it kind of does separate them into threats. The closer it is to you being the higher threat. You can also put it up.
Okay.
You can also put that up on one of these panels. It's bigger and easier to read, but there's just not enough panels.
You can display it on your HUD as well.
Can you?
Yeah, if you go to the EW page, the HUD option.
Okay. Okay. To set your takeoff trim, it's right next to the engine crank switch on your left. You'll see your rudder trim. There's a button on top. You just push that and hold it for a minute. It'll set your rudder, your trim to 12. Although I usually move it to 16 for being loaded out. I'm going to go ahead and set the carrier on my TACAN. So on your, did you get your takeoff trim set?
No, where's that?
There's next to your engine crank switch, there's a little knob called with rudder trim over top of it. And on top of that knob is a black button. You just push that down and it'll set you to a 12 degrees takeoff trim.
Yep, got it.
On your left up front display with the flight systems with all those squares and stuff, is that still on for you?
Yep.
Okay, and then in the middle of it you'll see stab with 16 or 12s. The number next to that,
12.
Yep, that's your takeoff trim. I usually adjust mine up to 16 degrees for the extra weight.
How do you adjust it up?
It's whatever it's set at. Mine is the hat switch on my stick. I don't know what the default is.
But yeah, if you
Got
just
it.
hold nose up trim.
Yeah, nose up trim, got it.
Yep.
It'll only let me go up to 14.
Are you pushing your stick
sorry.
forward?
Yeah, I might have been. I've got 16 now.
Okay. Now for the TACAN, set the carrier in here. On your UFC, the up front console, hit the TCN button. And that'll bring up the TACAN page. Hit 7.4, enter, because the carrier's TACAN is 74 X-ray, and it's already on X-ray. And then on the bottom right, turn it on. You might have to click it more than once until it says on. Let me know when that's done.
Yep, says on.
Okay, and then over on your HSI, the top left button should say TCN. Just push that once until it's boxed, and that'll put the TACAN information on your HUD. On the right side, it'll say 0.1 STN for the Stennis, 0.1 mile.
Guide me to that.
Guide you to it.
Yep, please.
On the HSI screen, your right screen, on the top left, there should be a TCN button. See it?
Got it. It's boxed.
Okay. And that puts it up on your HUD on the right side underneath your altitude. It'll say 0.1 STN. That's 0.1 to the Stennis.
Cool, got that.
Okay. Back down below the UFC, we're going to switch to radar altitude. There's a switch with alt, and then baro and radar. Flip it down to radar.
Yep.
And hang on, I need to see what the AWACS channel is. 270.5. So.
And what are we doing with that info?
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star,
Okay.
Bra, 049 for 200 at 25,000 knots.
On the bottom right of the front display, you'll see a gray knob underneath like a little digital panel. Click it once to pull it out and select that COM1.
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star, Bra, 049 for 210 at 24,000 knots.
It's right next to AP. There's a little gray knob you can click to pull out.
I think I'm looking in the wrong area.
It's on the up front display underneath the keypad. The same row of buttons that TCN was on. To the far left next to AP, there's a little gray knob you can click to pull out.
Okay, yep, you pull it out, and what do you do?
Okay, so that should have the your COM1 settings. Just type in 270-500, hit enter.
User entered your channel.
Yep.
And then click the little gray thing again you have to kind of do that to save it. And you can rotate that knob up and down also to switch between channels. So that's your radio 1. On the other side is radio 2.
So that should be displaying number 2.
It's just whichever one you have it set on. It's got a bunch of channels. You can rotate the knob to go through the channels. But you just want to
The
have...
display is just showing the current preset.
Yeah. So you want that one to be on 270.500. That's for Dark Star, or AWACS. And then we should be about ready to roll. Go on the radio and remove the wheel chocks.
Do we need to set bingo fuel?
Chief, remove the wheel
Yep.
chocks.
Set that to 3,000.
Copy. Springfield 2-1, Dark Star,
Wheel chocks are now removed.
52 for 190 at
And that's on that.
Sounds like you guys are getting everything squared away.
Yep. That fuel panel
Yep.
is by your left knee. There's up and down arrows. You hold those to set your bingo fuel.
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star, Bra,
Yep.
052 for 190 at 25.
Okay. I don't know what your high gain nose wheel steering is. You'll have to set the keybind for it probably. But you'll want to click that.
He's using my target scripts, the nose wheel steering switch on the stick.
Yep,
And
it's on high.
taxi to the cat. Make sure you turn your emergency brake off.
Everybody taking Hornets out tonight?
Yeah.
No, Thumper and E-Dog are flying MiG-29s.
Oh boy.
Yeah, have a little action here in a little bit. Once you get lined up on the cat, you'll put the launch bar down. It's next to your landing gear.
They fix the gun pepper going crazy.
I don't know.
Keep coming. You got about 15 feet.
Is someone watching King of the Hill?
God, I hope so.
About 6 feet. Yes, my girlfriend's watching King of the Hill. Stop.
That's a
Go ahead and put your launch bar down.
that's a documentary.
Okay, you've got about 5 feet. Stop. And then you'll hit the button to attach to the cat, whatever it is for you. I think it's you.
Yeah, it's you by
engaged.
default.
I pressed U. I think it's engaged.
Yep. Okay, now on the right, you will twist the wing unlock button or lever to the right. And then once they're down, you'll push it in to lock them.
Yep. Think I'm good.
Okay, on either of the upfront displays, you'll hit menu twice, and then up on the right side of it, you'll see checklist.
Yep.
Just run through that real quick, make sure you've hit all those. Controls are good, wings are down, my trim is set, my flaps are at half, my hook is up, my harness is on, the warning lights are good, nose wheel steering is good, and this ejection seat is armed. So we should be good to go. Did you slide in the wing lock?
Okay. I did. Anti-skid, does that need to be on?
No,
No.
not on the carrier.
Okay. Then I'm good.
Okay. I will say run it up, in which case you run the engines to 80%. And then once we're good, I will say I'm launching. Once I say that, I'll throw my throttle forward, and you wait maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and then throw yours forward after that. And I will hold about 300 knots until you join up.
Okay.
All right, run it up. And once you're at 80, you'll say 2 set.
2.
Okay.
3 set.
All right. And taking off in 3, 2, 1. My throttle's forward.
Taking off.
And once you're stable, gear up and flaps up. I'll be coming right to 310.
What's your altitude snap?
I'm at about 330 right now, and holding about 300 knots until we guys are all set.
I lost 2. He was up high.
Yeah, I lost sight of you, but I found it again.
It's very important when you launch off the cat to stay below 500 feet until you are 7 miles out. That gives you separation from anyone returning to the ship. Otherwise, you could fly into them.
Yeah, good call. I'm descending. Thank you.
I think you're in front of us.
I am back right off Hope Past.
Roach, is that you behind me?
Yeah, I'm coming up on your left.
Okay, Woody, you're right in front of us. Maybe a half mile. And we're below you. We're at 400 feet. Come to 315. And you'll see me pass you in just a second on your right side. See me?
Gotcha.
Whoops, 3's underrun.
What speed are you running?
278, but I'm going to give it some gas and climb.
I'm going to rejoin on your right, Snap.
Okay.
What are you guys carrying loadout wise?
I've got 2 AIM-9Xs and 4 AIM-120Cs and a fuel tank. I think Woody has 2 Sparrows and 2 AIM-9Xs. Roach has
Correct.
harms.
You guys want me to turn on the red SAMs?
If you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Woody, down next to your INS alignment, go ahead and flip your radar to operate.
Hey, E-Dog, do you want to drop down the red 4?
Cool, we can do that.
User left your channel.
I'm going to set the right display to radar. It'll be ATK radar.
User left your channel.
My left display, I'll go ahead and put the RWR on my head. And then bring up the stores page. Still with us, Woody?
Roach, you carrying 2 or 4 harms?
2 harms.
Roach, I've got a contact 30 miles out. About 5 degrees. 5 degrees?
Xerox. You know where 2's at?
I'm not sure. He's not answering now.
Oh, I see him.
Yep.
He's just high.
Coming in next to you now.
Okay.
Dark Star, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey
Read my
over.
mind. We're getting pretty slow here.
Yeah. There's a nice crosswind up here too. I'm gonna go come right. I'm leveling off at 335. Go ahead and go combat spread. I don't have him on radar anymore.
He's down lower.
I'm right beside you.
No, the radar contact.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, I've lost him too.
Just keep your eyes open in case they show up. Okay, I've got him about 10 miles, almost off the radar. I'm going to come right. Okay, I'm going to come right until he's centered up. I've got him locked. Of course, I can't tell what it is.
What's his altitude?
Which number is that? I don't remember how to read the radar information. I'm going to go ahead and arm my weapons. I'm going to drop my center tank. I'm locked.
Okay, I got him at 24,000. Cold.
24,000?
Wait, no.
Mine's below us.
Yeah, 1,000, sorry.
I can't tell what it is.
I don't know, but he's running fast, so.
I'm going to go and give it a burner and see if I can catch up some so I can see what it is.
Dark Star, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
I don't think it's a bad guy.
It's awful quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I may fly past him. If I do, shoot him if I get whenever I tell you.
I'm doing Mach 1 with 60 knots clear.
It's Dark Star. Who's got me locked?
Ah, that's you I've got locked in.
We're like pros here.
No wonder he's so fast.
Okay, I'll drop my speed down to 0.83. .058 for 170. It's awful low. That could be them. I'll go and come around to 058.
That's where they spawn from, so.
gonna go do an expendables check.
Good players.
Okay, let's go ahead and go all fenced in, lights off, etc. And leveling off.
3's fenced, 9.7.
One's 10.0. I've got my radar right about in the middle. I don't know if you can watch lower if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm scanning. Well, I've got a 4-bar scan it pretty far out, so I can look up closer if you want.
4 bar is fine for both of us, as long as we're not covering the same area until we find something.
And I'm back on your left. I'm not sure where Woody's at.
Trailing behind you both.
Okay.
Dark Star, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
They've climbed 14,000 hot, 056 for 130.
How do I drop my tank?
Okay, down on your left side by your knee, next to the engine page, you'll see a station select.
Yep.
Push the CTR for center. There should be a triangle that lights up on it. Find it. Find it, Woody. Find it, Woody.
No, mate. You're talking about the dial's got the red button in the middle that says jettison?
No, above that, it's like right next to your engine settings and the fuel settings. Just to the left, there's a little thing, an area that says jettison station select. And
Got it.
there's a button that says CTR for center. Push that, and it'll be a green triangle that comes on.
Yep.
Okay, that selects your pylon. Each of those buttons is for your pylons. Now, back that jettison thing that you were talking about a second ago. Spin that all the way to the right to where it says stores. Make sure your master armor's on. And then you can push that jettison button to drop whatever pylons you have selected.
Radar contact 90 miles, 10 degrees right.
I don't have it.
Are you on high interleave?
Okay, I've got it now.
And radar contact 10 degrees left, 70 miles.
Yep, I see him. You watch the left one, I'll watch the right one.
Copy. Radar contact lost on number 2.
I've still got it.
Oh, I got him again. They're gonna spread us. I say we stick together.
Yeah. Just go for the right one if they do.
Okay, contact due is at 26,000 feet, about Mach 0.8.
Okay, let's go ahead and climb. I'm adding in some power. What do you know how to work your Sparrows? I've not used them. I always use the AMRAMs.
Got no idea. How do I flick the guns?
That'll be a button. I'm going to come right to put the right bogey dead ahead. Now I've got
2 radar contacts on the left.
Yep. The one on the right is probably our tanker.
Oh, that's probably right.
Go ahead and come back left and lock up the closest one. Well, don't lock it up yet, but just be ready to. That's got to be them.
Yep.
I'm gonna go into burner.
And or the F4s.
Yeah, I don't think they go this high. All right, I'm locked. It's 29. I'm gonna go and lock it back up. And I'm gonna put myself going straight toward it. Still on burner.
Buzz bombs airborne.
Missile launch.
Yep, I'm not firing yet.
I did forget to arm the SAMs, by the way. Knew I forgot something.
That's all good.
Box. It didn't launch. I'm gonna brake right.
And I just got blown
Box
out.
3. Got a hit.
Yep, I see
Yeah,
it.
me.
I've lost the second guy though. And I've lost you. Got
Are you guys
fixated.
down low?
No,
Now we're at 20,000 feet. What's your heading, Snap?
305 right now.
Dark Star, Springfield 2-1. Request bogey dope.
The other one's got to be here somewhere.
I got shot to the shithouse and I've got some family commitments, so I better go, boys. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Woody.
That's all right.
Enjoy it.
074 for 12 or 4,000. I'm gonna go turn that way and drop.
What's your position relative to the Big Island?
Did we lose Woody?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had to go.
I'm coming in from the western side.
Reagan?
Not me.
Okay.
I just got a merge going.
I found him. Looks like he's heading for you.
I don't see him.
I'm coming in. Or at least he's not heading for me. He's flanking left to right for me.
What's he heading toward?
Oh, now he's heading right to left, so he's probably heading about 060 at 20,000 feet, and he is 50 miles out to sea from the island, so 50 miles about heading 140 from the coast. Super helpful. You know what? I think that's our tanker. Yeah, that's our tanker. Just gotta call it 3,500 feet, right on me.
You guys are at 20,000?
We're on the deck now. I'm on the deck.
Dark Star, Springfield 4-1. Request bogey dope.
Reagan?
Buddy. Buddy. He's down here somewhere. I just don't see him.
Missile launch, go defensive.
He's right behind me.
Okay, I got him.
I'm locked. He got me with the guns.
I got him. Shit, sorry, man.
That's right. Happens.
Just a little too slow on the missile shot. I was nervous about hitting you. 'Cause he was on your ass.
Yeah, that was I shouldn't see him till he was on me, and then I couldn't get him off.
I'm wide open on my way out to you guys.
I'm gonna get some gas over here.
I'll hit that back that way.
Request rearming. Copy.
You guys heading to the tanker?
I am. Snaps down.
Okay. Also remember, the AI F4s are out there as well.
Yeah, that's part of what I was worried about.
And they like to get me while I'm getting gas.
You guys heading to the tanker, right?
Snap is dead. I'm headed to the tanker.
Yeah, I'll meet up with you all back out there.
Rearming complete.
Do you have combined arms, Snap?
No.
Flight control. Flight control.
I think those F4s are intercepting me right now.
You can take him.
I don't know if I can take them in and get home.
I'm en route. What's your position?
I am about 20 miles from Kasab. Or 40 miles from Kasab, maybe.
Okay. I'm moving that direction. I'll bust her. I'm at 30,000 feet. So you want to really piss them off? We do have arms. We can take out the long-range radars.
There you go.
Well, it is 3-on-1, so I wouldn't make it too bad for him.
Oh, he's probably already RTB'd.
Isn't it 3-on-2? Isn't Thumper over there too?
Oh yeah.
So it would have RTB'd probably because they're
Plus
flying
they have-
water MiGs.
Yeah, plus they have the AI.
Yeah, I wish I would have remembered to turn them on.
Remove the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
So you're going to 31 Yankee, right? No, you're not. 30
3-0 Yankee. And I'm 20 miles off of them.
I'm 75. ETA 5 minute. I'm 1.6 right now with this load. I did drop the tank, but I got everything else on board still. Nails 29, northeast. Did you hear that, Roach?
I did, yeah.
And he's there.
I'm rejoined with Texaco.
Okay.
Be back in action in about 3 minutes.
I'm 3 minutes from Texaco. F4, yeah, spike, northeast. I got 3 radar contacts off my nose. 4.
Target rich environment.
Yeah, I don't know who's friendly or not.
I wish they'd get the IFF working.
Ray gun. Once again, ray gun.
That might be the KC-130 because he's acting crazy now.
Fuck.
Snaps launching.
Still got his hose out, but he's like in a
Ray
dive.
gun.
Not I.
Shoot Q and it's a diamond. Fox 3 long. Hope I don't blow up your tanker.
Well, he's no longer in a dive, but it did screw up my refuel. I doubt it was you, though, because I think my RWR would have picked up on it.
And he's locking me up.
God damn it, he's diving again. Up. I'm dead. My RWR never gave me shit.
You're probably using thermals. Buzz, where are you from the carrier?
Oh shit, I'm engaged. I'm at Roach's last position. South of Kazab.
I kill 2 bandits in a fair fight and they take me off the beat.
Of course.
Okay, I'm on my way, Buzz. I'm my ways away, though.
Splash. I never got a VID on him, though. I don't know what he is. He's going to go into the water before I can find out.
F10,
I'm down.
F10,
I'm low,
F10,
low on gas.
F10 map shows the dog you got.
Okay. Well, I better bug out, because that means there's another one around here. I'm low on gas. I'm heading west, low level. I'm actually right over Kasab right now, but it's a little too hot, I think, to try to land here.
Actually, E-Dog's still flying, so he might still be there. I don't know who you hit.
Truman's probably closer.
I got Snap. No, that was Thumper scored you. Never mind. I don't have. It didn't score. It didn't. It must have been a. It must have been one of the others because it didn't show up anything on the chat.
Maybe you hit me, lived.
He's alive?
I think so.
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star, Bra, 073, Fort 150 at 4,500.
Yeah, I'm getting 073 for 150 or 4,500 for me. That's him. I'm in full burner heading your way.
Yeah, all I got left is apparently both my AMRAMs and one Sidewinder missed.
I don't know.
Or, sorry, one AMRAM and one Sidewinder missed. I have one AMRAM left.
I don't know why my IMRAM didn't launch.
Trigger instead of the weapon release.
That's probably what it was.
That got me.
I'm at Mach 1.2.
I say we regroup. We're kind of spread out. I'll try to. I'll just come back to the tanker or the carrier.
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star, pop-up group, 073, Fort 150.
The tanker's acting funny.
Probably.
He's over on the other side of the landmass.
Yeah,
now.
it's because they're probably trying to shoot him.
Every time I'd get hooked up, he'd go defensive.
Yeah, I got one kill, so it's probably AI. Nails 29, my 6 o'clock, that's east. I'm gonna drag him back towards the carrier.
Yep, I'll catch him when he use
I'm at 7,000. I'm climbing.
I'm at 35.
35,000.
Yep.
User joined your channel.
Okay.
What up, boys?
Yeah. The one tailing me out there.
Nah, that's E-Dog.
Yeah, I hit one of the AI F4s. You guys had a little force advantage there. I don't know if you realized.
Who did I get the gun skill on?
Me.
Dude, you saw my freaking missile last minute and turned.
No, Roach warned me.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I couldn't see you until I saw the missile launch that he called out, and I had you locked up earlier than that, but my AMRAM didn't come off the rail. I think I hit the wrong button.
I think he had Roach locked up. I don't think anybody had me locked up. I never got a RWR warning.
No, because I was behind you. The missile launch is what alerted me to where you were. I was like 7 miles trail of Snap.
Buzz, I think I've got you at about 130 miles.
I'm at Angels 15.
Yeah, I
Angels
told
16.
I told E-Dog, whatever you do, don't turn on your radar.
Hey, that's funny because that's how you didn't know where I was. I had no radar on either.
Ray good? Maybe the tanker then.
Hey, Buzz, so for the Iranian planes, just a heads up, you have a static F4 sitting in the same spot, let's see what spot it is.
They're not really static. Those are the ones that will launch.
Alright, well, they occupy...
Occupy what?
I'm trying to look. Because if you jump into the first MiG-29 at Bandar Abbas, it's in the same spot as that F4, and that's what blew me up the first time.
Unfortunately, I don't have any control over them because the AI F4s, which are, there's actually a squadron of F4s there, and it'll spawn a 2-ship, and they'll go take off. And then when they're bingo, another 2-ship will take off to relieve them, and they'll come back. And they kind of park wherever they want.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. I can't control where they park. I can turn all that shit off when I get back to the tanker, or carrier. Assuming I get back to the carrier.
Hey, what are the chances of putting a red AWACS on this mission?
You don't need it. You have red early warning radars. They work just like an AWACS.
Buzz, how are you?
Yeah, but I can't call them.
Yeah, you can.
It doesn't work. I've tried calling each one and you never get a response.
You're calling them wrong then. Snap.
3 and DZ comms are off.
Ray gun?
Well, it's the Flaming Cliffs.
Buddy fight.
So all you should have to do is just call one of them.
Got to be on the right frequency.
How do you change frequencies in Flaming Cliffs planes?
Ray gun?
Bing, exactly. Buddy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the frequencies, you can't. We'd have to turn easy comms on.
And they all report at the same time.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I can't control that. That's Flaming Cliffs.
I've got visual on you, Buzz.
You heard my calls, right?
Yep, I'm going to come around behind you.
Okay, yeah, because I'm running way low on gas. I could divert.
What's your speed?
Speed is 384, and I'm going to divert over to... Yeah, I'm going to divert. I'm not going to push it just for the sake of a carrier landing. That I'll probably fuck up. And like a jackass, I have my lights on.
You guys want the Red Sam's live?
Yes.
User disconnected from your channel.
I'm diverting into Dubai.
I should occupy one and shoot these F4s that are taking off.
They'll keep coming.
Or I should shoot Thumper. He's taking off.
Yeah, those F4s are going to make it more of a challenge. If we want, I can turn them off. I'll have to exit, restart the server and all that other shit.
I think it's good.
I say go ahead and leave them on.
Yeah, I think it's good for us.
Yeah. It makes it more interesting.
Okay, Sam's are live. The ones over
Yay.
Bandera Boss anyway. You going to Al Manab?
I'm going to Dubai International.
I'm formed up on you, Buzz. You're right.
Yeah, I got visual.
Altitude. Altitude.
I'm gonna spawn in at El Manab.
I mean, I can make it to Al Manab. If you're going to start there, I can definitely go that way. Yeah, I'll go over to Al Manab. I got 2,000 pounds of gas. Hey.
I think our one advantage will be E-Dog and Thumper are on an alternate cycle now. Thumper's taking off and E-Dog's landing.
And that's kind of how they caught us. Well, some of us, but yeah.
But if we stick together...
Yep. They got you while you were getting gas. And that was was it the F4s or was it?
No, it was E-Dog.
If we want to play that game, we can go ahead and put the appropriate SAMs in the appropriate places and make the engagements occur where they're supposed to.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, the blue SAMs are pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's going to make their life miserable.
Because there's a Patriot site and like 3 Hawk sites.
It covers them from takeoff almost. Or we can just tell them, hey, you know, honor system, don't cross the border too deep. If you have a quick in and out, that's cool, honor system. But if you don't want to use the honor system, we'll put realistic SAMs in, and you guys will be in trouble.
It may have been E-Dog. If it was E-Dog, he may not have known any better also.
Yeah. Left base. Runway was at 9, I think is what their runway is. F2. Left base, runway 9. And I'm way fast.
Are you doing an overhead or just going straight in?
I was the left base, direct entry.
Okay. I'll do an overhead coming behind you.
Ouch. 900 foot per minute landing.
Oh, that's a greaser.
Snap to the brake.
Do we want to take the harms or drop them and just do a little air-to-air action?
I've got 2 harms on in case the opportunity arises.
Okay. I carried 2 harms, 2 AMRAMs, and 2 9s. You're going to be taking off on runway 27, right? If so, I'll just stop here and get gas.
Yes, because winds are out of the northwest, so yeah.
Can't believe it. Yeah, the 1 AMRAM and 1 AIM-9 missed.
Yeah, I had 1 AMRAN hit, and then when I fired on Thumper, I just sent 2 AIM-9Xs at him, and they both got him.
Okay, I'm getting gas and ordnance here. What am I, right off of Delta.
Snaps down, I'm going to come down at the end, refuel.
And Roach is taxiing out.
You guys bringing tanks if we're this close?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a center line. Doesn't really hurt the performance that much.
I see you taxiing by. Of course, if they're in the FC3 birds, they're not. Well, I guess they'll still get the call outs and their AWACS. But see, I thought the FC3 birds were always some bombs, so it should, when they broadcast to them, it should work. But what is confusing is you do have to pick the closest one.
Which should be the first one, though, right?
Yep. And
I
the
don't
labels,
fly enough FC3 to really know.
Yeah, and then the labels for the early warning stations, you can't really name them, so they have these kind of cryptic numbers.
Is there a way to declutter the HUD more once you have the EW page on your HUD?
There's there's a normal, reject 1, reject 2 is your declutter. Speaking of that, I probably should have turned on my HMD.
Yeah, I didn't have mine on last time either.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I like how you can also disable it with the, can't remember the name of the button on the stick.
Buzz, I don't see what those buttons are you were talking about.
It's right next to the HUD brightness.
To the left.
Oh, okay. What's the difference between reject 1 and reject 2?
I don't remember. The other thing too is you can turn off the clock on your HUD, which is the one spot that's really annoying.
Refueling complete.
How do you turn that off? Because ever since it used to not be up and you had to box time UFC, but now it's up by default.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn it off. I guess maybe you can't. You used to be able to.
Yeah.
Well, it just disappeared. I went to time UFC and then I hit Z-Tod and it turned it off. I hit it again, it turns it on. So yeah, just click one,
okay.
yeah, it's off.
Rearming complete.
Don't really need it.
What did you hit inside time UFC to turn it off?
Anything, and then hit it again.
That's you next to me, right, Roach?
Yeah,
that's you. I can see your board. Okay. I'm almost ready.
Springfield 2-1, Dark Star, pop-up group 02341.
Are you guys farther up the runway?
500 knots.
we're at taxiway Delta, which is like, quarter
big
mile
ramp.
east of the center of the field.
Yeah, it's a big ramp. I'm ready to go. You ready to go, Roach? You still need to get gas, right? Snap.
I'm full. I just finished fueling.
Okay, you're down at the end of the runway, right?
Yeah, very end.
Okay, we're going to taxi down to 27 then. And you're ready, right, Roach?
Yep. Whoa.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
Had a little disagreement with my toe brakes.
Uh-oh.
Also known as a toy was left under my desk.
That's right, you made the SAM sites hot, so that should make it more fun for us.
Yeah, we're really in the disadvantage now.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Roach, you're the one with harms?
Yep. No, this has harms on too, it looks like.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm not going to bring any.
No, you can carry the extra AMRAMs or Sidewinders.
Yeah, I've got 4 AMRAMs, 2 Sidewinders.
Two Charlies, X-rays, 2 harms.
Yeah, I've got 4 Charlies, 2 X-rays, and 2 harms.
Request rearming complete.
Okay, I see where Snap is. You should see us coming down the taxiway.
Yeah, I see it.
Looks like they regrouped back at their base. They were probably thinking the same thing we were.
Rearming. Copy.
I removed my extra pylons. It's the first time I've ever tried that.
Did you get the Kristen Eagle buzz?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No, I will though.
I'll probably wait for it to go on sale. I'm not really that excited about it. And supposedly the reviews are quite nice on it.
I'll either pick it up on sale or once I can use bonus points on it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, you gonna lead this Rat Pack out?
You can lead.
I am in no position. I can't. I shouldn't be. My voice is still fucked up, so.
Oh, I'll give it a shot.
Have an excuse.
You want to give us a quick takeoff brief, Snap?
I need to figure it out myself. I'm just going to get on the runway and I'll bring up the F10 map and figure out where we're going.
Okay.
Okay. Once we're all up in the air, I'll hold it about 300 until we're joined up. Once we get near the coast, we're going to turn to 2.5. That should take us to the general area they're in. Probably go up to around 20,000 feet until we find them and figure out where they are.
Just to clarify, 025, correct?
Yep.
And what's our takeoff or our rejoin altitude?
I'll hold around 5,000 probably. I'm not used to land-based operations, so I don't know what the protocol is.
Well, are we going to do stagger or are we going to do form? If we do, actually, in either case, just take off. What you'll do is you can take off, climb straight out. Like I said, maintain the speed, climb to about 1,500 feet, and then we can do a turning CV rejoin here. So what we would do is you're going to take off, climb. You're going to climb straight ahead, set to 300 knots. Once 3 calls airborne, start a right turn, and then you'll circle over the base, and that way he's airborne, he can make a right turn and kind of cut us off on geometry, and then we'll just orbit the field once and we should be rejoined and get out. Sound good?
Okay, yep. We'll do staggered takeoff as well.
Okay, so second interval, 5 second.
Yep, that works.
So which one, 2 or 5?
5.
Okay.
And
3.
2 thumbs up.
Actually, 2 we'll call a thumbs up for 1, so basically 2 will say 2 thumbs up. You don't really have to give anyone a thumbs up, because if I look bad, you just don't go.
Okay.
So 2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
All right, run it up.
Two.
3.
And launching.
Three's airborne.
Oops, starting my turn.
Two rejoin.
Three saddled.
Okay. Once we come back around,
You can just turn on out now. We're good. We don't need to keep going.
Okay. I'm going to come left to 025. And I'll start climbing.
2.
3.
Lead, give me some.
Yep.
Thumper disconnected.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna add some throttle in now. Got two on radar, one about 40 miles dead ahead, one about 60 miles to the left. About 67 degrees to the left.
What bars are you using?
4 bar.
Watch your airspeed. We've slowed way down. I don't have anybody on radar yet. Nail 29 north.
Yeah, I've got a radar contact 40 miles ahead.
I think that's the.
That might be at the tanker.
Yeah, that's the tanker. The other one's to the left. I'm gonna go ahead and come left. Put him dead ahead.
We should probably fence.
Yep, go ahead and fence out, fence in.
Good check.
What was that?
Oh, that was priceless.
What happened?
My voice is all fucked up, so I said good checked. And it ejected. Oh, that was priceless, and that actually looked really good. We had a nice takeoff, we had a quick rejoin, and that was fucking priceless.
Yeah, my voice attack eject.
Mine used to be, but it would never pick it up 3 times in a row. So I changed it. That was beautiful.
I just looked over and your jet's just heading straight up.
Well, I'm like, good check, and next thing I know, I see my canopy go off, and I had just enough time to go, what the, and then punch, I was punched out.
Lead say smash.
Well, I'm going to take a quick, but that was awesome.
What's that?
Airspeed?
402.
But see, here's the funny thing. This was a comedy of errors because I think what happened was I started to say good check before I keyed my mic, which my mic will block voice attack. But when you key your mic, it takes like a second for voice attack to actually be blocked. So it was just the perfect timing.
I don't have him on
I am
radar.
fenced, by the way, at 11.0. Up, radar or missile launch warning. I'm going defensive. I don't see it.
Okay, I see it. I'm going to the burner. I'll turn that way.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I see him.
Fox 3.
Another missile launch.
Yep. .350, 6 miles.
I got
And
visual
he's down.
on him. Good hit.
Yep, splash. See, they launched that time.
They used R-27s. Yeah. Did you guys see the missile launch, or did you get a launch warning?
I got a launch warning.
Yeah,
You should have used ETs.
as soon as he called that out, I saw the launch, turned toward it, burner on, and launch back.
I don't know why he didn't go ETs.
That was just wonderful.
Dark Star.
All right, where are you at, Snap?
1. Request bogey dope.
Angel 16 heading 000.
Did you go defensive north as well?
No, when he launched on you, I just turned into him and launched back.
Oh, okay.
He launched a second missile, which I did go defensive on, but it didn't hit. Went past me.
Okay, I got visual on you. I'm a few miles in trail. What's your airspeed?
0.68.
Now's the time to blast over there, and I can sucker shot these harms off.
Yep. I'm going to take a break here. It's burning up in this room. That was fun.
User left your channel.
Yep, I'll hold that way, and once you're okay, I see you. You go and give it some more gas, and go up to about 20,000. Just head that way and let you drop your arms.
Okay.
I'll go and drop my tank too.
Good drop. Oh shit. 2's underrun.
That's all right.
Visual.
You take lead. Since you've got the harms, I'll cover you while we're from behind a little bit.
2 is 1.
Yep, 1 is 2. I'm going to join on your right. Say speed.
360 indicated.
Okay, you're going to give me some, please.
1. I'm holding 350 indicated. Looks like reject gets rid of your compass rose or compass tape.
I wish that there was a way to spread out the contacts in front of us on the RWR because they're all just like muddled together. I can't tell what's what.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They're not. Yeah, it does. If you hit the offset button on your RWR, then it'll spread them out. We've got a hawk, a buck, and a hawk.
Okay, there we go, yep.
I'm gonna level off at 25 here.
2. Two's in the saddle.
I do not get what button it is to change your contact on the harm.
They said.
Okay. What HOTAS button is that supposed to be?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, I guess I'm at 26,000 feet.
He's still at their base. I just checked just to make sure he was still in the game.
Raid FLIR FOV select button. Okay, I'm coming right.
2. Got 2 harms.
Yep. Been actually fired one. Is it a weapon release or trigger?
Trigger, I think. I'm getting locked.
All right, mud spike.
It's a 10.
And that's track warning.
Launch. I think it's launched. The fast tone's launch, right?
Magnum. Yeah, the fast tone's track radar anyway. All right, I'm turning right.
2.
Magnum. We'll send them both out there. And I'm gonna burn.
2.
You don't see any missiles out there, do you?
No. The track's locked onto me though.
Yeah, I got the same.
We're probably too far for it to hit us.
Well, the big bird's no joke. It'll reach out and touch you.
10's got the best range, right?
Correct, yeah. I'm gonna come right a little further.
2. It's what, 15, 16 miles for that thing?
User joined your channel.
Oh, I think you can reach out further than that.
I just checked. They figured out how to use the early warning cars. They're working for them, just so you know.
We got Thumper back on?
Yeah, he got discoed and he's back on.
That SA-10 is,
He's bad.
He's going to town, isn't he? The SA-10s might be able to shoot down the Hornets.
I launched 2 at him, and I don't think they got through because we're still getting locked by him.
Just to give you a hint, I was talking to them and they're like, holy shit, there's missiles flying overhead. And you're like, they're ours. Yeah, I think against the SA-10 site, you might need to do a little hunter-killer and have someone, get in close, draw fire.
Roach, you just disappeared. There you are.
Oh.
You're rubber banding a lot.
I think there's 4 or 5 launchers, so that should give them.
Yeah.
You got DC'd.
Oh, Roach got discoed as well?
Yep.
I wonder what the fuck's going on.
I'll stay up by the tanker and get gas.
Can expect to be harassed. What the hell's with this this latest patch of shit?
The last 2 have been shit. If, I didn't play much on the last patch, but,
yeah, neither did I.
But if the harm hadn't been released on this one, I was gonna roll back to stable. Just because of the flickering, really.
There was supposed to be a hot fix, but I guess I saw they were having some problems, so they didn't release it.
The flicker doesn't bother me so much anymore now that I've been flying with it for a while.
You turn the water down to medium, it goes away.
Yuck.
I've been flying with water on medium this whole time, just as a performance. I haven't tried it to see if high makes that big of a difference, but I'm not as high spec as you guys are.
I haven't actually, I don't remember what water on medium looks like.
Yeah, it's. I want to get. I couldn't justify the price of a TI. A 1080 Ti costs almost as much as a 2080 Ti right now. Some cases it's more.
I think if you have a 1080 or better right now, you're better off to wait for the next card.
Yeah, I am, but this is like the 1080. I personally feel the 1080 is marginal. I've been waiting.
I guess a 1080 to a 2080 Ti might make sense.
Yeah, well, the main thing is the memory. I wouldn't go to a 2080 because I think the same shortcoming is going to be memory in VR.
I was really expecting a 16 gig card in the 20 series. I was pretty disappointed to see 11 on the...
Yeah, it was disappointing. I'm curious to see what AMD is going to be rolling out. I'm skeptical. But if this generation of NVIDIA is a stinker and AMD's is actually competitive, I might jump.
Every time that NVIDIA has a not monumental release, AMD says they're going to catch them, and they don't.
I know. That's the reason why I said I'm not optimistic, because AMD is, I don't know.
Because they said the same thing, like when the 9 series NVIDIA's came out and kind of underwhelmed everybody. They were like, "Oh, our new R9 series is going to be killer," and it was underwhelming. But it was underwhelming. It came in right where AMD usually does, which is in the mid-range cards. It might make sense to go AMD.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm stuck. I need the extra VRAM for VR, for DCS, and the only way I'm going to get it is a TI, and the 2 TI cards are so overpriced right now. Unless I was to go find a used one. But even then, like I said, the 2080s TIs are a stinker, so, it just sucks. So I have to wait another, 2 years?
Yeah, or, at some point the 2080 Ti prices might come down too, and then that cost starts to make sense.
Yeah, I'm hoping that once the 1080s are finally out of the market and volume on the 2080, the TIs are up to snuff, then we might see a price drop.
Because I think I love 2080 Ti. You're looking at probably what, 25%
over what I.
Yeah, plus like a 40%.
Yeah, it's $1,400 for a best 38%, average 17%. Yeah, it's just
But if that cost comes down to like $800.
Yeah, if it comes down to the sub 1,000, I'll jump on it. I just can't justify that money. It's too much.
It's ridiculous that they've gotten that expensive so quick too, because
I thought the 1080s were obscene, and then
people just keep paying it, and the prices just keep going up.
Well, part of that. Well, I don't know how a lot of the VR guys keep moving on to the higher res VR. They have to buy the high end cards. I can't believe that, what was it at the CES, NVIDIA's big bragging point was the 2060. It's like, really?
Well, VR's not the driving point, it's the 4K market.
Exactly. But they also are going to have the same problems to some degree. I guess maybe not as bad as VR. VRAM's going to be an issue for them eventually too, but I don't know if ray tracing, their ray tracing stuff lowers the memory requirement or doesn't hurt memory as bad. But 4K, I guess 4K does only really need about 8.
I know that 4K probably has a similar performance hit. I've never gamed on 4K, but my buddy has a 2080, and he plays like a bunch of AAA titles, and he can't run anything over 60 frames per second. Like the games he plays, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and other and Arma. Of course, Arma doesn't run 60 frames per second on anything.
Is it a big limiting factor VRAM across the board, or is it just compute and VRAM?
I think it's a combination. I haven't looked at his machine, but I was just talking to him online the other day, and he said he got a new card.
Yeah, this generation is so... I had looked, 2080 does have some performance benefits. It's, hit and miss. But that VRAM, I need more VRAM. The only reason, I'm pretty sure I'm bound by VRAM because I use 7.5 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah, ideally DCS would just step up their game on optimizing, but that's not going to happen, so.
I expect it to get worse before it gets better.
And it actually has gotten better just in the last couple years.
It goes through stages where, performance will get better, and then performance will stagnate or drop, and then they make visual improvements, visual improvements goes down. And then they'll optimize it and it gets better, and then we kind of go through this where it gets worse and then it gets better. But at the same time, they're increasing graphics fidelity a lot.
Well, by the end of the 2.2 alpha, performance was far better and it looked better in 1.5.
Exactly. But remember, there was a period with a 2.1 where it was unplayable in VR for like a month.
Return pre-contact.
Yeah, I got VR after that, and I couldn't play VR in 1.5 because I had to turn settings down, and it just looked awful.
Yep.
And it still stuttered all over the place when turning stuff down.
Roach, are you back in?
No, I'm sitting back down now.
Okay. I just topped off. They are sitting here at the tanker with me.
Oh, they are? Just hanging out?
Yep.
They must have saw the disco. They're going to give you an escort back. Yeah, I had to pop on and go, why did you guys use the ERs? You should have used the ETs. Because I think you guys, he might have got you guys with the ETs. You wouldn't just...
Yeah, I never would have seen them.
User disconnected from your channel. User left your channel.
The F-18's radar seems to be working great, though.
It does.
I miss it. Used to, like, sweep would follow your TDC, and it doesn't anymore. Which kind of sucks. I don't know if there's, like, an option you're supposed to select, or...
I wish that it was like the Eagle in the fact that you could just move the TDC up to extend the range.
You can. You just have to go up and then back down. And you can select all the options with the TDC too.
Mine's not doing it. I gotta move it up and it just goes all the way to the top, sits there.
You gotta go all the way up, back down. Within like 1 second or something. Like off screen and then back on.
Oh.
Which I actually like better than the Eagles because you don't accidentally do it.
Right.
I'm gonna air start.
Both just sitting here flying around with me.
You guys are over by the tanker?
Yeah.
I'm headed your way. I started in the air. I'm over Abu Musa Island Airport. Since they were kind enough to not shoot you down, I probably shouldn't sneak up behind them with my radar off and aim 9X them, huh? But part of me kind of wants to get them back for the tanker kill.
Were you actually in the middle of refueling when they got you?
Yeah, no, I was on the hose.
User joined your channel.
And I'm back.
I'm having a moral debate here on whether I should sneak up behind these guys and knock them out while they're flying formation with Snap.
You wouldn't be able to sneak a whole lot because, you know, well, I guess if you used your AIM-9s, you can sneak.
Yeah, whatever's on the air jet. Looks like X-rays and Charlies.
Yeah, you know, the Charlies, you're going to have to single target track them.
Well, we can't single target track. I was meaning to sneak up with my radar off.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is if you went with the Charlies, you'd have to. You'd have to get a lock on them to fire, so they would have
No, you
to know
don't.
you're coming. With the Charlies,
Just mad dog 'em off.
You could, I was gonna say you could mad dog them, but you might hit.
But
the
then I'm gonna
tanker,
hit snap.
You might hit snap. You can go for it and just see what happens.
Just gonna mad dog off 4 of them and
Just go for it, see what happens. Sorry, snap. That would be funny.
Altitude.
now what we should do is get him in our channel since they're all here, and we should just coordinate a guns kill or a guns fur ball.
I can coordinate that if you want. I'm not in VR.
User left your channel.
I think we've established our dominance in the missile game.
User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel.
Okay, I moved D-Dog in here. Bumper's gonna come on up. You guys can do a little gunsy.
Is that you who killed me on the hose, E-Dog?
Yep.
Let me go back, get some more fuel.
I can send you back faster if you want.
All the times I could have shot you down.
Yeah, right. Shit, I ran out of gas.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys aren't with the tanker anymore?
I'm going to just because I can.
Yeah, I just flew over top of him. Or I'm about to anyway.
That's what you get, E-Dog, for shooting people down on the tee. No fuel.
Who shot? We didn't shoot anybody down on the tanker.
Yeah, E-Dog got me when I was on the hose.
Oh, did I? I didn't even realize I did.
Oh, that was earlier when we didn't know the tanker was over there. We were just following our AWACS calls and using our electro-optical sight.
Yeah. I knew that I was in a tight spot, but I had Buzz Bomb heading my way, so I thought I'd risk it. Fucking tanker kept going defensive though, like while I was on the hose. So like I'd get hooked up, and then he'd just dive and start dumping chaff.
Are you sure that E-Dog didn't launch on the tanker and it tracked to you? Because the 4-line bar is a big target, right? And a 2-line bar is or is that IFL? I can't remember how that is.
I have no idea. I've never flown the
If you have
MiG-29.
a single row, if it's double wide, it's a big target. If it's single wide, it's a small target. If you have a double row, it's friendly. But remember, EO doesn't have IFF.
Yeah.
Texaco, Colt 1-1. Request rejoin. Colt
Damn, I didn't realize how late it was.
Proceed
1
to
o'clock, man.
pre-contact at 20,000.
I will probably be on late tomorrow night because I have Monday off.
How'd you score that?
Unfortunately. Holiday. I work for, a big, old school monolithic medical company. We have, we get President's Day, we get Martin Luther King Day off, almost as good as banks.
Sometimes we get Christmas off.
But we also have the other side of that, which is our vacation plan. Well, not as bad as yours, but most software companies, this is the first time in years where I didn't start with 3 weeks of vacation.
Ready,
We only had 2 weeks.
Return pre-contact.
The last place I was at started you at 3, and at your 2-year mark you got 4.
Yeah, I get something godly. I get like 3 weeks PTO,
Clear contact.
100. I actually have more sick leave than I do PTO. I have like 180 hours of sick leave and then 40 hours of personal business.
Well, that's what most software companies and most companies nowadays, they mix the two together. That way it cuts their liability. Because, sick time isn't payable when you leave, but vacation time is. So if you just have one pool, even though it's a bigger pool, it seems like a perk, but it's not negative numbers on the book.
Yeah, and I got use it or lose it either. It doesn't carry, my leave doesn't carry over.
Yeah, whereas if it's all in the same pool, they usually cap out at an ungodly high number because they know people are going to take sick time. And then some software companies, and actually the last place I worked at, right before I left, I mentioned it's 4 weeks. They got to the point where it was take as much time as you need. As long as the work gets done, we don't care.
Company I used to work for, I got 4 weeks a year, and they carried over 120 hours.
Yeah.
See, they were talking about doing that at my company, and then nothing ever came of it.
They actually, I know in the software world, they found if you just give people time, you don't give them a pool, just take what you need. That way it's good in 2 ways. People will usually take less time off because they don't have use or lose. And it's not a liability to the company because they don't have to keep track of the time on the books. So when you leave, they don't have to pay you. So it's kind of nice because then you don't have to worry about counting, because when you get into software and you get to the level, I've been doing this for 20 years. When you get to this level, you've already proven yourself. You don't need to be
Roach, I'm coming to the tanker to refuel again. If you want to hang out there, I'll be joining with you there.
Yeah, I'm on the observation spot.
I'm probably not going to fly again. I'm still recovering from this bullshit. Is there, I know just in light of this style of gameplay, are there any tweaks that we want? This is a training server. Do you want me to make a version of this that's more combat oriented of this mission?
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So I can remove some of the AI stuff. That means I'm also going to put the Blue Force SAMs, which I must warn you guys, on Flying Red 4, the Blue Force SAMs are brutal. Their location and quantity.
Buzz, do you want the version of the map that I made? That way it's just got more stuff on the carrier and everything.
Sure, we can do whatever you like. Yeah.
Okay. The only difference is you'll need that ship mod, but it's like 30 megabytes. And I posted it on the, I don't know if you want to put it in the thing that keeps every stuff updated, or eventually they're going to add their own in. I just don't know when. They said they were going to this year sometime. Once I get off tonight, I'll post the mission on Slack along with the mod again.
Okay. I got to get upstairs and plug in. My phone's going to die.
Texaco, Springfield 2-1. Request rejoin. Springfield 2-1. Texaco, proceed to pre-contact at 20,000.
You guys been doing much Elite lately at all?
This whole last week I was painting models for a guy, and I didn't get to do anything really.
Yeah, since the start of the year, I've just been slammed with work. I took that new job, and it's been, or a new position, and it's been hell.
Was that a sales position you took? Or we talked about it a little bit. I don't remember what it was though.
No, I'm our chief information officer now, meaning that I'm running the shit show of computers and systems that our last guy left behind.
So they gave you all the responsibility, but I doubt they gave you the appropriate pay raise to go with it.
They did, yeah, actually.
Nice. There you go. Okay.
I mean, the title does not match the job duties. I don't understand the title at all. It's the only C-level title in the company. It doesn't make any sense.
You are the C team. I mean, you can put on your resume that you were a founding member of the C team, and the only member.
It means that I'm going to put on my memory a different title, like Director of Information Systems. That would make more sense.
E-Dog disconnected.
Yeah, I'm about to shut it down for the night.
Okay. Always good flying with you. Give us a few good, kick in the nuts here and there.
Yeah, good fight.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm proud. I think that was my first PvP guns kill.
You guys did time it very well, because when I came into the AO after Roach had died, I was moving. I saw you guys on my radar warning receiver move to you. You timed it beautifully because the two AI F4s locked me up and were intercepting me, so I had to engage them and let you guys go.
That was really weird. I launched my parachute, and I don't know what happened when I landed.
Buzz, did you tell them what happened with you?
Yeah, the ejection seat thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a great departure, and then he decided to depart his jet.
It was a textbook departure. I mean, it was beautiful. And we rejoined in about, 120-degree turn. That was it on takeoff, and we probably could have done it quicker.
Yeah, I was taking it easy on the closure speed.
I got a little fast, but I started out way too timid, and then I came in more aggressive because at times I knew you were going to be up on me before I was on him, because you usually rejoin really quick.
I was trying to average it out between the two of you.
3 sucks. That position, a 3 ship is just so hard.
Yeah, I found if you just sort of keep half an eye on the lead, and you know when to not correct for 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because realistically you would be your own element lead, so you'd have a little bit more latitude. But yeah. Speaking of that, saw someone posted. I forgot where it was. It was a helicopter group, a guy flying an R-44. He's a news chopper guy. He posted a video of a flyby of a 4-ship of F-35s. And it's so funny because even in the simulator, I'm like, look, 4 sucked as usual. Because, they came by in a right echelon. No, they were in a Finger 4. And he came as when they rolled, you could see 4 just went way sucked. And he was like way sucked and never caught back up to him. And I was like, yeah, we've all been there. Well, they say actually that 4 is the hardest slot to fly, which is where they always put the new guys, which is funny.
Yeah, it's like Slinky, you know what I mean?
Totally is. Yeah. And 2 was on him. 2 was just nailed to him. 3 was a little, he was fine. But 4 was just, he was fucked. I just thought it was funny. Even just the lowly combat sim pilot, you start picking up all these techniques and things that are wrong.
You guys flying tomorrow?
Yeah, like I said, I should be on tomorrow night. Normally I'm not, but like I said, I have Monday off, so I should probably be on tomorrow night and probably be up late, assuming my body lets me.
Hey, Buzz.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to set it up on this map? So if I want to say jump in an Iranian MI8 and pick up like a SAM site and be sneaky deploy it somewhere else, do you know how to set all that up?
Know how to do it? Yes. Am I going to do it? No.
Damn it.
I don't like that style of gameplay in an open environment because it allows for all sorts of douchebaggery.
How's that douche? I'm not gonna fly it across the ocean. Though that would be hilarious.
Abort rejoin.
No, you were going to try to fly it across the ocean and plan it on like the training island. No, the big thing is it's too, like I said, it allows for a lot of douchebaggery, and realistically, there's no way an MI8 can carry a SAM site. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit I have to balance. Now, if we had a mission where it was just like, hey, we need a logistics-based mission, sure, but I'm just not going to have it out there so anyone can do anything like that. Just because, first off, it's a pain in the ass to set up. Second, on a training map, I'm not going to do it. There has to be a lot of, in order to allow something like that, it would have to be within the confines of some sort of mission. Otherwise, there's nothing stopping you from placing one in
I think our 130's getting out of Dodge.
Yeah.
No, he got a gas?
He's flying like an asshole.
Well, you want to go back to the carrier, or is Stumper going to fight with us, or?
I think I'm about to go get some lunch. Honestly,
Okay.
I didn't realize what time it is.
Let's go back to the
Hey,
carrier.
so would you be open to? You have the Carl Vincent on that side, keeping the weapons off, and putting the Kutsov on the other side with maybe some 33s on it.
Well, what I was thinking, that's why I asked, is if there was an interest, and this is a training map, so I try to keep the focus, more training and lax. If we want to take this and evolve a combat Persian Gulf, I'd be happy to do that. And then, like I said, there's a lot more latitude in what I'm willing to do. But, having a red carrier, I can do it. This is just, suspension of just disbelief, so to speak. Or I could just build a Caucasus map if we want to do a little red versus blue,
Well, why would it be the red carrier be disbelief? That's a real carrier.
In the Gulf?
Who? Yeah, yeah. When was the last time it's been in the Gulf?
Oh, I don't know, but I mean,
I don't think it's ever been into the Gulf. And even when they were doing operations from Syria, where did they post it? It was in the Red Sea, right? Did it make it to the Red Sea?
I have no idea.
No, I don't think it did.
Yeah, I don't even. But they were flying. It did briefly support operations in Syria, more for PR than actually being combat effective. Didn't they lose like 9 airplanes or something?
Yeah.
I like
Sounds
flying
pretty
conflict,
effective.
and like I told you guys, I like flying aggressor. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, well, we can definitely, organize something, but I think the Persian Gulf is small for a carrier versus carrier op.
Why don't we just set up like a Top Gun map on Nevada?
Yeah, like I said, I'm totally happy. We can definitely, if we wanted to do that. I think he wants to do He wants to do op for carrier op, so that's what he's interested in, right?
Either or, yeah. I mean, I like. I've been playing around with the 33. I rebinded it and was practicing carrier approaches. And I mean, granted, it's Flaming Cliffs. It's not nearly as complicated, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be happy to throw a simple mission on Caucasus together. Whatever people agree on, we'd like to do. If that, I'd be happy to put Caucasus one together, just because it gives you a little bit more wiggle room in terms of open space.
well, like I told you guys before, if you guys want to do training, I'm all down with that. If I like to fly aggressor, and instead of having AI, if you guys actually do a mission, I'm more than happy to try to stop you guys from accomplishing your mission.
We have one. We actually have one. We've flown a couple times as the Hornets have evolved. You remember way back? Well, there was one. Remember Roach? I don't know if anyone else remembers it. It was actually 3 2-ships of Hornets, a seed flight, escort flight, and a strike flight.
Yeah, and that one's set up to have a Red 4. I think it's Mirage Red 4.
Yeah. So we have missions actually that we've built, and then there's the classic, the Havadra power plant strike, which was fun because that started out with the Harriers, and we flew that with the F-18s, and then who was it? Was it me, you and me, Roach, who hopped in the MiG-21s, Red 4, and just caught them with their pants down at the worst time possible?
Yep.
Yeah, so we've done that, and I'm okay.
Although actually, I think I was flying Blue 4. Pretty sure you caught me with my pants down.
Who's flying? Was
me
it
and
Mappers?
It was you and Snap.
Oh yeah, that was fun. We caught him. I mean, like the worst. No, was Snap? I thought was it? I don't remember who was flying.
I'm pretty sure because you guys cut in between us where we should have been able to just rail you, but I wasn't focused.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, but I thought. Oh, that's right, because Mappers was on your side. He was the one that was carrying the self escort load. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was just the comedy of errors on everyone's side. But we caught them with their pants down at the worst time. We made the worst move, but we still just clobbered them. So
yeah, I was so hyper focused on the air to ground mission that.
Yeah, so no, Thumper, we definitely do like to have Op4. So if you want to play Op4, have you flown the Mirage since they fucked it up?
I have not flown the Mirage since they fucked it up. They did something to it, didn't they?
They added,
changed
how like this last patch, they changed how they did some of the switches and knobs, and people are just bitching high heaven about it.
Yeah, that's right. You have to download there's a patch or whatever. You have to download the files yourself. They're all jacked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, and.
No, I haven't flown it.
You guys want to hear a scary story? Razbam's doing an up.
Oh, boy.
What?
Oh, I said Razbam's doing an update. Ooh.
Yeah, just in general, anytime Razbam. They definitely took EDs for every fix. We're going to introduce 5 bugs. And they definitely ran with that.
I thought there was something similar they did with the Harrier. They let a Harrier bug slip.
Oh, the Harrier's been a fucking train wreck since it started. Actually, its first early access version was pretty solid. And then they just every time they added a feature, they
fucked it up. And then they would add a feature, and it was so bugged, and they would release a document on how it's supposed to work, which isn't how it really works. And in the actual AV8, and it's not how it works in the game either. So it was just a train wreck.
But that being said, I do love the Harrier.
That's what I was saying. I forget who I was telling earlier. I was like, you know what? If it wasn't for the F-14, I think I'd just quit buying frickin' third-party modules.
Well,
I'm definitely, and unless Razbam puts out something that I'm totally in love with, I'm definitely going to slow down. There are certain vendors now who have shown their colors, good or bad. And Razbam is one of the wait-and-see ones now, I think.
I mean, Heapler, they took the vegan, and it seems like that seems pretty solid. They really haven't messed up much on it that I know of.
There's been some issues with the vegan minor, but it was solid from launch. There was a problem at launch with the nose wheel, but it was a nuisance. It wasn't like game breaking.
Now the BK90's not working in multiplayer forever was shitty, but
yeah, but there was, like I said, there were other options. Of course, that's what it was known for. One of the two things it was known for, and that was more of an ED problem though than a. And I wouldn't be surprised, and we don't know the whole story on that. That I wouldn't be surprised if ED promised them, enhancements that just never came until later.
Makes me worry about the Razbam MiG-23.
Yeah, no, the Razbam airplanes are definitely, I would say now for me, probably a wait and see. I bought the Mirage when it came out, and it went through this same fuckery. I think Razbam got a bit of a bad rap on the Mirage because I felt that it was always moving forward, not like the Harrier. But people were bitching back then, and then of course when the Harrier became a little bit of a train wreck, or a lot of a train wreck, they got hit hard for it. But they're their track record is going in the wrong direction. It's not like, oh, there was some controversy with the Mirage, we're going to do better with the Harrier. There was controversy with the Mirage, we're going to set the fucking Harrier on fire.
The most exciting thing on their roadmap for me is the Super Tucano, and everybody's forgotten about it.
That is actually the most exciting thing that they have coming to. Just because it would be such a great trainer aircraft and a great, we can do all of the, procedures and trainings and everything, and you can bring people up in the same jet and get them really comfortable, and then it's just a transition to a new jet. You're not learning anything new.
I'm super stoked. I guess I'm the only one that's stoked for the Mi-24.
No, the Mi-24 is cool. I just wish it was a different model. I'm excited. That I will buy. Who's making it? Is it Razbam? Or is it Belsom-Tech?
I think it's Belsom-Tech. Either that or Belsom-Tech ED. Well, they're the same thing now, aren't they?
Yeah. So I was gonna say I didn't think it was Razbam, but my brain is fuzzy now. They haven't
it's got the fixed gun, which I'm okay with because I like the fixed gun and the. So it's a fixed gun auto tracking like the KA-50, if I understand correctly. So it does have some.
But it's not
gimbal.
the turreted gun.
Yeah.
No, I've always liked the Hind. For me, if you're not going to give me a Apache, a Hind would be right behind it.
Well, we might not get full fidelity Russian jets, but at least we get full fidelity Russian helicopters.
Well, that MiG-23 will be a full fidelity.
Yeah, but that's going to be Razbam.
So I'm excited about a high fidelity, relatively modern Russian jet. But Razbam has shown their track record is they'll get it out, and then it's going to take forever. Look at the Mirage; they're going to completely redo the Mirage. Well, not redo it, but they're going to completely revisiting the avionics of the Mirage. That right there should say something.
You would think that they could get enough stuff for one of the MiG-29 variants, seeing this how it was exported to so many different countries. Because there's a lot of countries that fly MiG-29s.
I'm sure they can, but ED is in Russia.
Yeah, I was going to say there's 2 or 3 major problems. One of them is a lot of the export aircraft don't have the combat systems of the Russian aircraft, which is what ED wants to do. That's one, that's kind of one side. In terms of like flight envelope, hell, the U.S. flies them. We have them in civilian registry, so that's not a big problem. So that's part of it is getting the export models have different equipment, and they want Russian equipment. The other problem is just because the information is available is you don't bite the hand that feeds you. Like you said, they're in Russia, so it doesn't matter.
I think we lost you, Buzz.
You hearing me? Not hearing me?
Now I hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was saying, the first part being the export avionics and equipment versus the Russian military is different. The second part is, the information's available, but Russia, if they won't let you do it, they won't let you do it. It's just like in the U.S., marijuana is legal here, but they can't use federal banking because that's a federal offense. It's illegal.
So how'd they get away with it with the KA-50?
KA-50 is a special case. If you look at the history of the KA-50, falls into the same kind of scenario that the HNC did, which was it was originally a government contract, and they worded into the contract that they wanted to make a publicly available version. And for some reason, the Russians were okay with that. Does anyone know? Are Russian helicopters, the Russian Air Force and the Russian Army, I assume they are kind of like the U.S. in terms of fixed wing is Air Force, rotary wing is Army?
I have no idea.
I couldn't tell you.
But it wouldn't surprise me if that chain of command and leadership has two different viewpoints. As it is, Russia, nothing makes sense.
Is it Air Force? I thought. Well, it's Army, Navy, and Air Force, right? Because I was we have Mi-8s for, and that's for instance too. The Mi-8, that's another one. That's a Navy version, but there's also civilian Mi-8s.
Yeah, and I think part of that too is the weapon systems on the Mi-8 are pretty arcane. I don't think there's anything.
What weapons does the Mi-8 have?
You can launch
rockets, bombs. That's it.
Gun
and by the way,
pods.
gun pods. The gun pods are actually quite cool. But there's no. Remember, in the Mi-8 though, there really is no. Other than very basic depressed reticles, there's no real guidance. There's no real weapons, avionics, or fire control systems. There's really nothing like that. Or at least in the version we have. In terms of the bombs, if you read if you find some of the Mi-8 manuals, there actually is, some bomb sighting equipment ours does not have.
I didn't even know that helicopters dropped bombs ever.
Yep.
Only Russian helicopters.
That seems like a terrible idea.
It also can drop the. It also can use the submunitions dispensers that the Flaming Cliffs planes can use. What is it?
I know what you're talking. I don't remember what they're called. But, it's not the FAB or the KV goes to the bombs. It looks like this big oval tube pointing on one end and it's a shit dispenser. Yeah.
So interesting point though about the KA-50 is we have most of the weapons load that the actual KA-50 if you go off, except minus one thing. The actual KA-50 now, according to what I've read, can actually launch R-73 air-to-air missiles.
Yeah, and Apaches could at some point in time carry Sidewinders and Stingers.
Now you can get air-to-air kills with the Verpals. I've done it, but it should be able to launch heat seekers too.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like the Apaches. The Apaches can carry Sidewinders, but they never really did. They only carried Stingers.
And we can carry, those KH-25s, those big laser-guided missiles? You can only fit like 2 of them on, but those are pretty fun. The Verbals are actually quite deadly, or whatever they're called. The Vickers, yeah. The Vickers are actually quite deadly, man.
No, they're kind of they're like a Russian Hellfire.
Yeah, and I like that with the gun. You can switch between. You got HE and AP rounds, so you can take out armor with the cannon.
I'm gonna drop some fuel here.
I wonder how that works in the real Halo. Because you'd have to clear the chain. You know what I mean? I wonder how that feeds, or if it's just a setting. I'm curious on how that really works.
Well, I mean, if it's got a switch in the plane, there's got to be some way. If the switch is actually there, you'd think.
Well, like I said, the switch could, and this is just pulling it out of my ass, the switch could be intended to be set based on the loadout you're carrying. You know what I mean? Because it will affect the ballistics and affect the targeting. Just for example, in the A10, you can select HE, AP, combat mix. You can do that from the store's management, but you would set it to match what the plane is actually loaded with.
Is it 34,000 pounds for carrier landing?
34 with limitations, 33 without limitations. And the limitations are going to be like side loads, wind, and some other stuff.
Hey, just for your essay there, I think I told you earlier, you might just want to go ahead and pull all the freaking Air Start planes off this map because they don't work.
Yeah, they do. I'm in one.
Oh, really?
I was going to ask you, The MiG-20. Which one are you in, Roach?
An F-18.
Okay, so the F-18's working. Might be the You said the MiG-29. Have you tried it? Have you tried it again?
I can jump into another one, but yeah,
try one. Because what I did was I took the mission, and then I reopened it, resaved it, and did some minor things. And I'm curious if that might have fixed the problem, because this mission hadn't been resaved with the latest patch, and that could affect that.
Nope, it's still power off.
And that's a bug probably with the FC3 birds.
Yep, power off, and then I get all kinds of warnings, so...
If you flip the switch, it'll come back on, right?
Yeah, but then I have a master caution light that won't extinguish.
Yeah.
And I have a red warning panel light that's on.
Do you have it mapped to your stick at all?
I don't even know what this freaking is
The power on your stick.
No, I just use the keybinds.
Okay, no, good. I just wanted to double check, because if you had it mapped on like HOTAS, and you tell it to sync the HOTAS, it could be a bug there. I was just trying to figure out where they broke it.
No, I've actually tried to streamline, at least for the Flaming Cliffs birds, as much as possible. So I like all the stuff like engine start and all that easy to remember stuff like turning on radar and stuff. I just use the keys, and I've actually kind of like streamlined it to where, you know, I can do my air combat maneuvering. All those selections are on my thumb switch, and then all the the ground attack is on another switch. So it's really easy if I get in a sticky situation to get all the the stuff I need is right at my tips versus the extra shit.
I do that
coming down, Snap.
Too.
I do that even with the HOTAS. It's not on the stick or throttle, and it's not a muscle memory item. I don't map it. No, I might map it in voice attack, but I try to.
Alright, looks like the F5 is good to go, except the radar is on automatically.
That's normal for it.
Yeah, I don't know who decided the air start configuration for any of the jets. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I love it when which one? There's one that's really bad. I think it's one of the helicopters. I forget. Was it? Alright, the MiG-21 seems like it's good too.
It might be the FC3 only. I missed about probably 10 seconds of conversation for some reason.
No worries. So the F5 and the 21 seem like they're working all right. So I think it is just the FC3.
And this is something I'm torn on actually in the Persian Gulf. Iran does have MiG-29s, but that's the reason why I only have A models, because that's what they have. But they're FC3 birds, and I normally don't like to put FC3 birds in. So any feedback on that is appreciated. If you guys want the the appropriate planes, even if they're FC3, that's cool. I'll do it.
I don't mind the FC3s. Like if I'm gonna fly aggressor against you, and you guys are in 18s, I would much rather be. Even though I don't particularly like FC3s, but I'm not going up against a Lot 20 F-18 and a MiG-21, especially when there's like multiple of you guys.
I have no problem with them being on the map. I won't fly them. I don't, just because I've got the F-18 and that's normal right now. But I don't mind. They fly just like all the rest of the planes. They just you just have to use the keyboard. So that's personal preference, I guess, really for me. But I'm fine with them being on the map.
Well, my main thought too is when I build in the training environment, I'm inclined to include them for OPFOR, because to be honest, the training isn't for the OPFOR guys, it's going to be for the BLUFOR guys, so it doesn't really matter. But also when you start building missions or even training missions, you have to take into account they can't navigate, they can't use the radios, they can't do all these things. That kind of makes it a challenge. But for OPFOR, I don't have a problem with them.
Yeah, that's all I would say. Put them in there for purposes, which that's Thumper's deal. And honestly, it might be interesting to have some more OPFOR people, but we just don't have the manpower for it.
Now, if you want to
Yeah.
build a mission and you want to include it, I mean, I don't have a problem flying like an aggressor F5 or something like that.
Yeah, there's actually aggressor F5s and MiG-21s on here.
Yeah, I don't have a problem flying either of those planes. Because you know I'm going to have to be in that aggressor F5 with the black colors when you guys get F-15 or F-14s.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, trust me, the MiG-28 skin will show up. Yeah.
Apparently, as an autopilot.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing is, really when you're an aggressor, you're not there for you, you're there for the other team, So it's kind of a different mindset, but it depends on how you want to be an aggressor. You're there to provide a challenge for them. And it usually means, you punish them if they fuck up, but if they don't fuck up, that usually means they win. Or if they don't fuck up, they win. So that's one of the challenges of being an aggressor pilot in real life. Is you're typically putting, as an Op-4, you're typically put in a losing scenario, assuming the other guy does his job well.
You got the F-18s on here set up as, you got them as aggressor 18s too, so.
Yeah, we have them just because.
Well, they are aggressor 18s.
Yeah, exactly. And before we had Iranian MiG-29s, it was a good facsimile for a MiG-29.
Actually, maybe next time I'll fly the aggressor 18 against you guys instead of the 29.
Now, the challenge with that is it becomes hard to identify who's friendly and who's not.
Yeah, because the IFF doesn't work.
Oh, really? It doesn't, it won't flip it over?
The IFF will, the IFF will, I think what he's saying is if I have an F-18 on my nose, I don't know if he's friendly or not. And the IFF and the 18, while better than it was, still isn't infallible. You've learned the tips and tricks on how to use it, right?
No.
I haven't.
Supposedly, this is the way it works, and I don't know how it actually is, but how it works in game, if we'll call him a bandit because we don't know what he is. If the bandit is within 20 miles,
that would be a bogey.
Or bogey, sorry. If the bogey is within 20 miles, and you place them in your pitch ladder. If he's within the horizontal constraints of your pitch ladder and within 20 miles, it should identify him. It'll take a couple seconds, but you should see it flip from a box to a diamond or a diamond to a box and stay.
Is it supposed to be like that, or is that just for right now?
I don't know. I don't know how it's supposed to be. That's just how it is working. But like I said, it's only a 20-mile range.
So are the Op-4 18s limited to AIM-9s? Or, I'm not sorry, AIM-9s, AIM-7s? They can't load 120s?
No, they should be able to load everything. It's just that when they were added, we didn't have the X's or the 120s yet.
Oh, no worries.
And to be honest with you, it probably makes sense for them to have, it would make sense for them to have the 7s and non-X's.
Well, it depends on what you're simulating it for the, so if you're simulating a MiG-29A, I would say go with AIM-9Ms and the AIM-7s. But if you're simulating, because the 29A doesn't have the BVR, but if you go with the 29S, you do have BVR, so you'd get 120s.
But the S is essentially the 29G, and Iran has AIM auto 29s.
Well, I'm saying if you're going to do this on like the Caucasus map or whatnot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's
or not Caucasus, or the NTTR.
And that's one thing, it's really scenario driven. It depends. That's one of the downsides to DCS is it really depends on what we want to do. Because we don't have, data link simulated weapons. So we can't just say behave like this, unfortunately.
Nah, I hear you. Alright, man. Well, I'm going to go make me some ramen.
Roach, are you disconnecting again?
That's what I had for dinner, but I'm sure it's not the quality of ramen.
I don't think.
Yeah,
well, it's
again.
Mother.
It's still instant ramen, but it's Japanese instant ramen, which is
Japanese instant ramen.
I'm never going to make it back.
It's not like fresh ramen, like if I go down the street to the ramen place, which is amazing, but it's It's like a notch, one notch above American instant ramen.
No, I was going to say, I think Japanese instant ramen is about on par with American ramen houses, unless they're like authentic Japanese ramen houses, which are few and far between in the U.S.
Yeah, I have not been to. I have tried a place that my sister took me to in Florida that was like, oh, it's Japanese ramen. No, it doesn't. The first thing is you got, if you're gonna do real ramen, the noodles have to be fresh, not freeze dried. They can never be dried. They have to be fresh noodles.
Exactly. If I'm going to go, if I want real ramen, pretty much my best option is to go to Little Tokyo. Down in LA, but anywhere else, I would be skeptical. And a lot of them out here that are ramen houses are usually kind of a fusion of Chinese and Korean and Japanese, somewhere in the middle, you know?
I hate when they do that Asian fusion, man. Make up your damn mind. What do you want to be? That's my opinion.
No, I agree. It depends. At least they're not trying to pass it off as one, but a lot of times they use it as laziness. It's fusion, man. It's because we don't want to put the effort into it.
I'll check the dudes later.
There was a food truck. We had a food truck.
All
in
right,
Austin
fellas, have a good night,
that
man.
was Korean and Mexican fusion.
User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
That's 4 sorties. I only got killed once, but I've only landed once in those 4 sorties.
Yeah.
I guess one of them I killed myself.
I didn't have a chance to catch up to you guys with me. How was he flying tonight?
Who?
Woody, when he was flying with you guys?
He flew well.
He
flew well. He just. I'm landing. You can go and talk, Roach.
He was a little behind the jet, but he was with us.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the weapons down. He had sparrows. I've never even used them on this thing.
Well, he left before we got into combat, didn't he?
No, he got shot down.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just curious. He's able to rejoin and stay in some relative formation and stuff like that.
No, he did the normal thing, which I think everybody does when they're not used to the Hornet, which is take off and go buzzing way above your ceiling, like let the jet just run away.
Yeah.
Out in front of the formation up high. But yeah, then he sort of just followed us out. He never did get joined back up.
Yeah, I was just wondering. We've done stuff in the L-39. He can fly it okay. I wouldn't say he's proficient, but obviously wants to move on past the basics. And I was wondering, we would take him back into L-39s and do some formation work, or do we just, kind of do some combat stuff with him, do a little ACM training, basically give him some confidence to fly with one wingman and get some kill, basically let him shoot at somebody.
I'd say whatever he wants to do, if we make a dedicated training session out of it. Like, I think as long as they're having fun, we can get training in.
I wouldn't mind flying as an aggressor for him, without weapons and everything.
Okay, or we can give you guns only, as long as you don't spank them too bad.
But it just depends on what he wants to do. Like, for me, when I'm training, I'm fine not shooting at anything, just doing a training session. But not everybody has fun with that, so.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if we want to move on with training with him, even if it's in an L-39, we want to have